My name is Ann Oro, and I work as the Director of Instructional Technology for the schools in the Archdiocese of Newark. And I am absolutely thrilled to get a chance to see everybody today. I have had the great privilege of working with over 60 teachers over the last 2 years to develop a pre-K to 8th grade technology integration map. And so what I'm going to do is share some information about that and share some ideas for you to think about as you go back to your classrooms. Before we even talk about technology, though, I definitely want you to know where I come from as far as students are concerned. I really don't think our kids get out and get active enough as it is, okay? I think it is a great thing that you're doing with the students anytime that you get them out and exploring and touching and socializing together, because so much of what the kids do today is disconnected from working with each other. And so that's a huge part of your job right there, is just getting them to be social and active. Tied into that, though, is the fact that all of our teachers really need to help build some foundational skills in technology. And there are social skills in technology, too, that they feel their way through, that they could use our guidance. And so when we talk about the technology curriculum map, we're not just talking about skills that the computer teachers should be doing. There are pieces that every teacher can do a little bit. Starting at the babies, simple as how do you hold an iPad and share it with your friends safely, going all the way up to the 8th grade. Because when our kids graduate and move on to high school, we don't want anybody pointing out that, oh, those kids, yeah, they came from the school down the street. How could they know you don't use text, speak, and an email? How could they know that, I'm the crazy guy at AOL.com's in front of you? So we have to build these skills with our students as we go along. The other thing I want you to think about is that your classroom could be a phenomenally rich place of technology. But I also, through traveling around the last 3 years, recognize that a lot of our classes look like this, right? You have the desks, you have the books. Maybe you have a computer projector, but the bulb burned out 3 years ago. I mean, it's the realities that we face. But I want you, as you look at ideas this morning with me, to think about the fact that you probably have a technology lab in the school. And it's probably not used the entire school day. So if you find an idea, feel free to talk to your technology integration specialist, your computer teacher, and say to them, I want to try something, and I need to borrow the computer lab to do it. Over the last year and the beginning of this year, you also started learning about our new teacher evaluation model. And I want you, as you look at these ideas of technology, think about how what you could be doing with your students actually helps you develop professionally as a teacher. So, for example, in Domain 1, one of the little items is designing formative assessment for your students. And there are actually some really nice technology tools that you might want to consider in designing your formative assessment pieces. Domain 2 talks about establishing a culture for work and helping students have a pride in them. And again, you can use little technology pieces to let students showcase what they're doing and why they're proud of it. Domain 3 talks about engaging students in learning through the instructional materials and practices you have. And while you may have a history book or a reading book that's 15 years old, you've got a wealth of resources that you can bring to your students with a projector and a laptop. And if you have a classroom full of iPads or a classroom full of Chromebooks, there's even more that you could bring in. Finally, Domain 4, one of the items is communicating with families and helping them understand what's in your curriculum and how are you connecting your students with that. So again, an idea you might find today might be how to bring that to your families, how to help them see what it is you're teaching and learning. I also totally get how much you're trying to do in class. There is only so much you can do with the amount of time you have. But when you see an idea today that you want to bring back to your class, think about what you do physically on paper with a pencil that maybe this year, one time you try skipping that activity with the paper and pencil and try doing it with a website, with a camera in your device. And you know what? If you hate it, go back to the paper and pencil next year. But if you love it, maybe it becomes something new that you just start doing and put in part of your classroom practice. And I'm going to say it over and over again, take advantage of those people who have that job title of Technology Integration Specialist. They've been meeting with me about 5 or 6 times a year for the last 2 years. We're going to keep doing it this year. And my goal is always to show them a bunch of ideas and think about what your school looks like and what's one thing maybe a first grade teacher could use or a 5th grade teacher could use. And I'm asking you the same thing today. I'm not here to say, these are the 45 things that you should do tomorrow because it's going to make you amazing. I'm just saying, think of one thing that could maybe help you as a teacher and help your students learn. But the tech integration specialists, they're right there with you every day. Maybe you don't have common planning times in your school, but you probably eat lunch with this person, talk together. Maybe after school or maybe on the playground at recess, you can have a quick conversation. So make a point to just say, hey, this is something I want to try that I can't quite figure out.